Right, welcome back. There are 9 games in the Champions League tonight with 3 English clubs in action. I am joined by Dougie Critchley, our very own European football expert, to take us through. We're going to talk about the English clubs in just a moment. But, I mean, the standout game, it has to be Barcelona versus Paris Saint-Germain. It feels like a potential Champions League final already, doesn't it?
Well, it nearly was last year, Hayley, because Barcelona got knocked out in the semi-finals by Inter Milan 7-6 in that epic semi-final. PSG went on to the final and then beat Inter Milan 5-0. Barcelona have been really impressive so far this season. They're already 1 point clear of Real Madrid at the top of La Liga, and they've got a really solid record at home. They've scored at least 3 goals in 6 of their last 7 home matches, and they've scored 75 goals in the last 17 Champions League home matches as well. So this is a handsy flick side that are just so clicking into gear at the start of this season. PSG, meanwhile, are aiming to be on the first side in Champions League history to win 3 games in a row by 4 goals or more. They beat Atalanta in matchday 1, 4-0. They beat Inter Milan 5-0 in that Champions League final. They also beat Barcelona 4-1 on both their last visits in 2021 and 2023. So they go there with a fair amount of confidence, as it points out there. But there is a few injury issues for both sides, which is a little bit of a concern. So Gavi, Joan Garcia, Rafinha out for Barcelona, Fermin Lopez too. As for PSG, coming off a massive season last year where they played over 60 games, going to the Club World Cup, they didn't have a pre-season, and there's been a few injury issues for them at the start of this season as well. Ousmane Dembele's out, Desiree Doué, Gavisha Kvaratskhelia came off against Auxerre at the weekend. Jai Neves is likely to miss this game too as well. So what could have been a real blockbuster clash, and it still will be thoroughly entertaining, I would have thought. Both sides affected by injuries going into it.
OK. Let's talk Arsenal. They host Greek champions Olympiacos. Mikel Arteta's side, they're going to be firm favourites to win this one, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think after that momentum that they've gained from that win against Newcastle at the weekend, and Liverpool losing their 2nd successive game against Galatasaray last night, this feels like a massive game, especially going into a weekend that sees Arsenal host West Ham and Liverpool travel to Stamford Bridge to take on Chelsea. They have been imperious at home in recent Champions League campaigns. They've won 13 successive group stage games in Europe, including 10 in a row without conceding a single goal. They got the win against Athletic Club in matchday 1 with Martinelli and Trossard coming off the bench. They played a lot better in recent weeks as well after a slightly defensive start to the season. Eberechi Eze really coming into his own. Martin Odegaard back from injury, having a big effect in this one too. Olympiacos, meanwhile, they're top of the Greek Super League, along with AEK Athens. But there are a few players to watch out for as well. Mehdi Taremi joined from Inter Milan in the summer. He's got a really impressive Champions League record. He's scored against Dortmund, Juventus, Liverpool and Chelsea in the past. But it hasn't been a happy experience for them going away from home. 10 consecutive away defeats in the Champions League group stages. Their last win away in the Champions League group stage was in October 2015 against Dinamo Zagreb. But, bizarrely, they've won their last 3 visits to the Emirates in different European competitions. They actually knocked out Mikel Arteta's Arsenal out of the Europa League in his first season in charge in 2019-20. A few of those wins are over a decade ago now. So they don't necessarily go into this as favourites, far from it. But they'll be hoping with Mehdi Taremi and El Kaabi, who was so crucial to them winning the Conference League in 23-24, that they can at least carry a threat and trouble this excellent Arsenal defence.
Yeah, they'll just head to the Emirates, pretend we're not in the Champions League, pretend we're not in the Champions League. What about Manchester City travelling to Monaco as well? They're going to come up against a few familiar faces, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Folarin Balogun, who was at Arsenal, Mika Berith, who came through the Arsenal Academy, and Ansu Fati as well, who joined from Barcelona on loan this summer. He had a really difficult time. He's Barcelona's 2nd youngest goalscorer of all time. Got off to a seamless start to his Barcelona career, scored 7 league goals in his first campaign, but then injury struck. He missed over 100 games in the next 4 seasons. He went on loan to Brighton. He's now at Monaco, and he started on an absolute fire. He scored 4 goals in 97 minutes of action. And you look at Takumi Minamino as well, Balogun, there's definitely a threat there, but they have been very susceptible at the other end as well. They've scored 14 in Liga, but they've conceded 10. They lost to Lorient this weekend as well, and they lost to Club Brugge in their opening game. So Man City, with Haaland on screen right now, absolutely brilliant at the start of this season. Strong favourites.
OK. Do we focus on Newcastle United? We, of course, want to talk about them as well. They lost their opening game, didn't they? to Barcelona. They'll be hoping to pick up 3 points this time against Union Saint-Gilloise this evening.
Yeah, they're under a little bit of pressure, mainly because their results rather than the performances at the start of this season haven't been great. They've only won one game in the Premier League. They obviously lost against Arsenal at the weekend in very dispiriting circumstances as well. They lost their opening game against Barcelona thanks to that double from Marcus Rashford. But tonight against Union Saint-Gilloise, they've got a great opportunity to get a win. The main player to watch out from a USG perspective is Promise David, a Canadian striker who'll be hoping to link up with Jonathan David at next summer's World Cup. He's got off to a brilliant start and scored over 20 goals for them last season as well. So hopefully, with Nick Voltemade getting off to a strong start, Malik Thiaw playing very well against Arsenal at the weekend as well, there's enough good feeling that they can get a win tonight against USG.
Yes, so much to look forward to. There we go. Right, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Indeed.